Hello, world. I'm Jarrod Cluck. This is the egg. This is the egg song.
Now. Do Alt A.
Mic's off, please. Thank you. So what does this mean? What does any of this mean? The egg. Cluck, cluck. The egg song. This is the song that the mother hen sings out. This is the cry for life. I ask myself, where do things come from? Where do they go? How do things spring forth into being? Turns out the Greek have a word for this. Poesis. To bring forth reality into being. There's something amazing about this little encasement made of calcium and water and nutrients that somehow houses life and brings it forth into being. When I look at this egg, when I think about poesis and the egg song, I know what this is. This is craft. This is what we do. But it's not just people. It's all life forms. We are all part of this. Let me explain. Good to be human again. So, to go back to the beginning, a long time ago, one of my many obsessions, I really got into cows. there was something about this bovine species that enamored me. I wanted to follow them. I wanted to watch their patterns. I didn't know what that was about, what it is that meant. So I found myself driving around one day, and sure enough, I passed a sign for a farm. I made a U-turn in the middle of the road, and I found the farmer. He took me out in his truck. We drove around the farm, and I asked him questions. In his own way, he said, all you really need to know to learn to farm is this. Get a chair, go out in the field, sit, and watch. So that I did. And in the field, I set up my camera. Funniest thing happened. There was a cow out there. So I'm pointing the camera at this cow, and kept looking at me. How am I supposed to get my shot with this cow looking at me? This isn't a documentary. I'm trying to capture some type of objective truth, and this lady, she's just staring me down the whole time. So we began to dance. At this point, I realized there's no way that I could be an observer without having an effect. I think I went into that field looking for something aesthetic. That system kind of crumbled, and I found myself in the ecology. That was quite a moment. Moving from there, I thought a lot about what it means to then be part of that landscape. So, what did I do? I already had the camera, but I needed something else, because as we are connected, as we become entangled, that I am part of this ecosystem. So I needed a second tool. One of my favorite tools, the shovel. So now I can work these two in tandem, digging and filming on the land, with the land. I look back over the film as it began to develop, and as the year began to pass, the seasons began to pass. And I just kept recording, one day to the next, looking at what I'd done, trying to figure out what I would do next, not knowing that much more than a common weatherman. But that was okay. And in doing so, I began to see my own footprint. The shoe fits. So, let's have a little fun with it. I make an imprint into the land. The land prints onto me. I then imprint onto the paper. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Interesting thing occurred. So over that period of time, I kept digging. There's something in here. Something in the dirt. Am I making something? Am I taking something away? Has anything changed? Looks to me like I got a hole in a pile now. dirt on my hand. Funny thing that is. Let's try that again. Time continued. I continued working with the land, studying the land, and I would make an imprint, one page at a time. Read the page, flip to the next, follow the instructions. This is not just a path for me. I put you here to read a page. You should find yourself disconnected from the land. Get a shovel and a bottle of water. Listen to the wind and start walking. Gather a fern from the woods. Don't pick the first or the last one. Say hello, please, and thank you. As this continued, I realized that what I was making was an almanac, and that it was not just made to make it, but also to read it and to pass on and to give to others so that you may stand in that place. And then something else happened. The year passed, and when it was over, I collected the video. I tried to put it together. And I asked all those questions that keep me up at night. What was going on here? So I started thinking. Then, like, I too craft. This poesis, this poetry, this is life. And then I got really into Martin Heidegger. Really, really into Martin Heidegger. You might even say that Martin Heidegger got a little bit into me, but I'm okay with that. So, again, the words, the funny words, I find Alethea amazing, this one. He says that this is the unveiling of truth or reality. Now, I'm a little funny on truth since that whole cow incident, but then I started thinking of the chicken and the craft and the life, and perhaps he's giving us a function of what it is we do to unveil life a little bit at a time, to examine it, to hold it up to the light. This is meaning. This is what we do. This is Alethea. That's plenty to think about. So I'd kind of like to give you a minute as the film rolls. Here it comes. There it goes. Digging the soil. I'm interacting with the land. I'm learning from it. And And as I place one step in front of another, the path is formed. I look back at this. An ethic has developed. For a philosopher, this was quite the moment. This is why I wrote the book, to gather those wildflowers, to learn from the land, to try to connect back to it when in times we can feel the malaise of disconnect. So in this way, I'm not telling you what it means, but rather laying out the path for you to find that yourself. If anything, I'd like to leave it on that and just talk to you for a while and hear your questions, because it's not like I don't have enough of them already. Thank you. It's a good question to repeat. What is one of the greatest truths you learn from the land? I think it's what the farmer told me that day, to watch and to listen, and it will teach you. So in that way, that truth is subjective to I. But what I would like is for you to go out on the land, put out a chair, and sit and watch. And what you learn is subjective to you. Send me an email. That's a funny question, too. I really resisted that word for a while. For one reason, because I don't know how many plants I've killed, and I definitely haven't grown enough corn to live on. So this whole idea of farming went from, farming to cultivating life and enlivening. And that way, to go back to poesis, I really like Andreas Weber's definition in the Enlivenment, which he does harken back to Margolis, saying that biology's function would then be a mutual symbiosis among species. So then in the field, what it is that I'm doing is interacting with these myriad species and trying to enliven, trying to bring it up, create harmony. Every day it's a fight. The chickens get out. They get into the garden. The dog chases the chickens. I think that's what farming means, trying to find some type of harmony or create it. So Amanda Carlson asked, what's the most important question I've found in the dirt? First thing that comes to mind was when another instructor, so many good instructors in this program, you're one of them, Amanda, pat on the back. Caroline Woolard was here, and she was looking in the dirt, and she was looking in the book, and she was like, is it a book? Is it dirt? And then she went to the book, and she's like, is it dirt? Is it a book? Kind of rattled me for a minute, but dang, that's good. So I think there's something about that to just ask what it is, how I engage with this, and what craft means to me as a species. Jerry asked what Nomad has meant to me. Okay, Jerry. It's been a pretty long road. I think 27 months, but I lost track when we went into the bonus round a few months ago. But then it was time to like really take those tools and get out into the field to apply them. When I did this, we don't always, especially right now, talk about the elephant in a room, in the room. But when I found myself in that dark place, to enliven, to craft, to make poetry, that book got me through it. Learning these tools got me through it. And I want to get you through it too. And I want to see you smile. I hope you're smiling out there, Jerry. Take a picture for me, and you can email that to me. Come on, give me some more. Okay. First of all, only got so much time, but it is important to go back to Enlightenment era thinking and Descartes when mind split from the body, and how dangerous an idea this was, and how it progressed, that reason then was held above other types of experience. So then moving to Heidegger, that phenomenology, it accounts for all that other experience and what does go beyond what I can quantify. I spent so much time there that that's about all I can give you. I can say specifically origin of the work of art and being in time, but you're going to need to find somebody to explain it. I had to watch a lot of YouTube myself. And I believe that's time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your questions, your attention, and being here. I hope I made you smile or think. That's what we do. Good night.